The war on cryptocurrencies continues, and the biggest crash in world history may be coming, plus a bunch of updates from Iran, from China, from Mexico's third wealthiest person, doing some amazing things, all happening in today's episode. Go ahead and click like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications so that way you don't miss this daily update show. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Adam Winnig, and in today's episode, we're talking about the war on cryptocurrency. It is crypto versus the old legacy system. We have incredible updates happening. I'm going to get in and talk about some of the different assets. We're going to show you the charts and then cover some really important news that's happening in Bitcoin today. So today has been quite a green day. As you can see, Bitcoin up 5%, up near $35,000. Ethereum just rocketing forward 15% up on the day, over $2,100. Pretty much everything in the green for the most part that we can see. Everything in the top 20 looking like it's anywhere from like 5 to 20%, which is really great news. Let's take a look at the charts before we go in and actually discuss what's happening in the news, because there are some things that you need to be aware of. The biggest crash in world history could be coming, according to Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author of the #1 best-selling finance book of all time. So I'm going to tell you more about that in just a second. If we take a look at the crypto total market cap, we can see it really does look like that Wyckoff accumulation where we broke up and then we're retesting and then we're coming up again. So that's what it's kind of looking like. We can also see here on the SGA algorithm, we can see divergence. We can see the histogram growing upwards right here, but price is still kind of flat at this point. If we take a look at what's happening with Bitcoin, we can see that Bitcoin has recovered from that all-time low, well, this recent low here where it crashed to nearly $29,000, and it looks like there's a lot of buying pressure up in the zone where price doesn't seem like it wants to go lower than that. And so now we're seeing price kind of take on off up to the upward side. But the winner, the big winner for today is really Ethereum. Ethereum having a really strong green candle, which we can see here, 2 green candles just kind of breaking out hopefully here. Ethereum was trading way under value, and we can see it here on the hourly chart making some really awesome upwards progress here. So that's what's happening in the charts. Now, what's actually happening? Now, Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author of the #1 personal finance book of all time, says that the biggest crash in world history is coming and Bitcoin can help endure it. Okay. And Kiyosaki is really quite famous. He's been tweeting on Twitter basically saying that the government, the US lawmakers, have proposed a rollout for a 4th round of survival checks. One of Bitcoin's biggest virtues against the US dollar and other fiat currencies is that more additional Bitcoin can be issued apart from programmed 21 million coins, right? No more than 21 million coins can be issued. So Kiyosaki, as we saw earlier this year, when stimulus checks went out, Bitcoin price just went flying. So there's talks of a 4th round of stimulus coming, and when that happens, price could really just fly upwards. So watch for this to happen. As you guys know, the US government is printing trillions and trillions of dollars. Pretty much every government around the world is printing trillions of dollars. It's just it's really the death of fiat. And we'll talk about what's happening here. But before we get into that, about the war that's actually happening, because I want to educate you on that a little bit, we see Ricardo Pliego from Mexico. He's a billionaire from Mexico that wants to spearhead Mexico's first Bitcoin-friendly bank. So we've heard from him a couple times in the news recently, and I watched this video. He was quite interesting. He was basically saying that he would not hold any fiat money, and he was basically saying that he would only hold Bitcoin for like the next 30 years. So he's come out really quite bullish, and he also even mentioned, where was this? He mentioned that at the beginning of his career in Mexico, the conversion rate was 20 Mexican pesos to $1 US. And today it's 20,000 Mexican pesos to $1. So you see kind of what has happened with all sorts of fiat money. This is the same story. If you take a look at Venezuela, I think it was just 5 years ago, $1 was equal to like 10 Venezuelan bolivars. Now it's $1 equal to 2.9 million Venezuelan bolivars. So they're not stopping printing any money. So if you're holding your money in cash, then your wealth is just kind of rotting away. Okay, next thing. So this is what I'm talking about, the war. So China is actually all in on crypto, but only a brand it can control. Okay, so let me explain what this actually means. So as we saw, China basically banned all Bitcoin miners, forcing Bitcoin miners out of China, which is actually long-term a good thing. It decentralizes the mining from outside of China. 65% of miners were all Bitcoin miners are located in China. So now it's forcing people elsewhere. A lot of them coming to North America. So we heard Kazakhstan was a hotbed also last week. But what's actually happening here? So China, you know, they're cracking down on Bitcoin. They're cracking down on cryptocurrencies. But why is that actually happening? They're not against cryptocurrencies. They just want to be able to control it. Authoritarian governments like the Chinese Communist Party, they're all in on crypto, but they want to be able to control it. Okay, Xi Jinping and other officials are all in on their own brand of crypto, which is closed and permission system, which is, you know, the whole purpose behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is to be an open and a permissionless system. And China, basically, they just want to be able to control everything. A lot of these countries are coming out with their own CBDC, central bank digital currencies, and they're doing this because they want to continue to control the money supply. So I love it because there's this war on, like, you know, the old system trying to innovate, but they're really just like, you know, they're not solving the real problem, which is the ability for governments to print more and more money. So it's really interesting to see this play out. Also, we see it happening in Iran, which is interesting. So Iran is also a hotbed for miners because they have some of the cheapest energy in the world. In America, it's about 13 cents per kilowatt hour, and in Iran, it's half a penny per kilowatt in Iran. So half a penny compared to 13 cents. So it's quite cheap to be able to mine in Iran. However, what's been happening in Iran is the government is authoritarian, similar to China, maybe not as intense, but they're still authoritarian. They want control, and what they've done is they've shut down a lot of mining rigs. They've actually shut down 7,000 mining rigs they confiscated from people. What they did is they actually licensed to, I believe it was, they licensed to 30 different Bitcoin miners all around the country. So they want to have their own control on it. So they took away from people that were doing it without their consensus, and they basically have approved 30. I don't know what the arrangement is exactly, but again, this is just you know, an authoritarian government that wants control over a you know, a system such as Bitcoin. Next thing coming up is the world's biggest crypto exchange is running into trouble everywhere. The largest Bitcoin cryptocurrency exchange is Binance, and they're running into a lot of trouble in Japan. Basically, you know, having you know, running regulated activities in the country. They also are having issues in the UK and Ontario, Canada. So there's quite a bit of bad news coming from Binance. Basically, a lot of countries not wanting them to operate the way that they do in their different countries. So if this video was helpful and you'd like to stay up to date with everything crypto related, then like, comment, and subscribe. Also, by the way, if you're interested in learning how to find viral altcoins before the rest of the internet does, right? If you hear about it on Twitter and Facebook, then you're too late. We wrote a free report. You can get it at bluedgecrypto.com/viral, where we detail exactly how to find viral altcoins before the rest of the herd does, so that way you can be first to it. Okay, so with that being said, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.